welcome you to this video. Quickly, let me show you what you get inside Revit Tutorial Masterclass. If, for instance, you make your payment through seller or you make your payment through Paystack, you will be automatically redirected to this page. And if your payment was through direct transfer, this page will be sent to you. And when this page is sent to you, you are going to access the course here by clicking on this button. Then there is another button here. There is a video here that shows you how you can download my videos. This particular button will lead you to where you can download some of my past projects that are in Revit 2015. And here are your bonuses. This is Revit 2017 installation file. You click on this button and you'll be able to download it. Then this is another Revit 2015 installation file. The reason I have two of them is whichever one you prefer. If you prefer to use Revit 2017, then you download this. And if you prefer to use Revit 2015, then you download this one. And another bonus that you have is Acrobat X Pro. And what this Acrobat X Pro does for you is that it helps you to convert your drawing to PDF. Because if you want to go and print your drawing in Business Center, for instance, not all of them have Revit in their system, but most business have Acrobat Reader in their system. So before you print your drawing, you normally convert it to PDF so that you'll be able to print it with ease. And you always convert your drawing to PDF and send to your client to be able to follow along. So this Acrobat X Pro is very, very important. And I am going to give you the software. You only need to click on this link and you download it and install it on your system. And this Acrobat X Pro will also help you to combine your documents. Let's say you have page 1 to 20. Your project has drawing 1, page 1 to 20. If you don't have this Acrobat X and you didn't combine it from Revit, there's no way you can combine it again. So this Acrobat X will help you to combine it as one document. It's very, very important. And this is WinRAR. WinRAR will help you to extract your installation files or zip file. If you have zip file, we use WinRAR to extract it. It is one of those softwares that you cannot do without. And this is another bonus. This particular project you are seeing now, I did it for a client and I am sending it to all my students so that they can learn from it and they can get some of the families that I've used in the past, they can get from it as well. And you will also be added to our Telegram group by clicking on this link. Then if you click on this link, you will join our WhatsApp group. And inside our WhatsApp group, here I'll be answering questions that my students are asking and attending to whatever the concerns may be. And currently we are 80 in number. And once you make your purchase, you'll be added to this group. Though not everybody is in this group now, because some people prefer not to be added to the group, and that is their choice. Okay, now let me show you. Okay, so if you are taken to this page, if for instance you are taken to this page after your purchase, you simply have to click on this button and it will take you to the course area, the Revit Tutorial Masterclass course area. And here I am. And the first video you will see is how to install and register your Revit software. And this is it here. And you also learn how to install and register your Adobe Acrobat 10 Pro. Then you learn how to download and install V-Ray for Revit. We use V-Ray for rendering in Revit. That is an alternative to Lumion. If you cannot use Lumion yet, you can learn to use V-Ray for Revit. Then you also learn how to preserve your software inside your system. Sometimes when you copy your software inside your system or your external hard disk, if you don't know how to preserve it, when later you want to use it, you receive a message that it is corrupted. So there is a proper way you can preserve it in your system or your hard disk, and I'm going to show you in this video. Okay, and the first thing you learn in our model practice part 1, we have modeling practice part 1 and modeling practice part 2. And what we did here is that we pick a particular project and started from scratch till the end of it. And this is all you are going to learn in this modeling practice part 1. The first thing you will learn here is how to screenshot your computer screen. It is very, very important for you to learn how to screenshot your computer screen so that we will be able to communicate very well. Because sometimes you have a question as regard what is going on in your Revit and you don't understand. I want to explain it. One of the best way you can explain it is to screenshot and send it to me. Then I will now know what is going on and know the solution to provide. Or if for instance I want to explain some things to you, I also screenshot my system and send it to you through WhatsApp or through email. Okay, then in the one you are going to learn how to get started with your Revit proper, and you also learn how to, and in this particular lesson you are going to learn how you can download these videos to your system so that you can watch it at your leisure time. Okay, then you also learn in this particular session you are going to learn how to download all these courses to your own system if you are using phone, so that you will be able to watch the video at your leisure time. Okay, then for this particular lesson you will learn how to download all these videos if you are using computer. So we have two videos that are treating how you can download these videos now. Okay, then here you will learn how you can understand Revit interface, Revit user interface. You will be introduced to Revit user interface so that you know where those tools are. Okay, then in this day 3 you are going to learn how to use your mouse properly. There are different parts of mouse that we use in Revit, and I'm going to be showing you on this in this lesson. You also learn some keyboard part that we use in our modeling in Revit. Then in the 4, you are going to learn how to work with dimension tick and change your project unit. When you are a beginner at Revit, if you don't know how to use your dimension very well, your drawing is going to look unprofessional. So I will be teaching you how you can use dimension tick and change your project unit here. Then in day 5, you are going to learn how to create your levels and define the height of your elements in building. We use levels to define our heights. For instance, the height of your first floor slab, your headroom, the height of your roof, the height of your ceiling, all those stuff. These are what we use. We use levels, so we'll be taking you how you can create those levels. Then in the 6, you are going to learn how you can produce your building plan in Revit. Here we get to design. Now we start designing a simple duplex that everyone can understand. In the 7, we'll learn how to solve the Revit family not loaded. For beginners, sometimes you want to load window or you want to load door into your project, but you receive a cricket sound say Revit family not loaded. I have faced such problem before, and here I will be showing you how you can get over that. And in the 8, we will be using other alternative to solving Revit family not loaded. Okay, then we also, in this particular case, we will load Revit family from one project to another project. Then in the 9, we will learn how to place doors and windows in Revit. And in the 10, how to label your building. For instance, you have ante-room, main lounge, kitchen, you have your bedroom, you have your toilet. How do you label them? So we'll be dealing with that in the 10. Then in the 11, we will learn how to create our first floor plan in Revit. Okay, then in the 12, we will learn how to create our facade. When you have a building, the approach view is always more aesthetic than any other part of the building. So there are different ways we can design the facade of our building. And in the 13, you are going to use extrusion. You will learn how to use extrusion. Extrusion is very, very important in Revit. And this is page 1. Okay, so by clicking on this little arrow here, we get to page 2. Okay, now I am in page 2 now, and in page 2, the first video we see there is day 14. In day 14, you are going to learn how to create grid in Revit. Grid is very, very important both in architecture and structural drawings. So we'll learn how to use grid. And in day 15, we will learn how to create copy in Revit. And in day 16, we learn how to create glazed handrails. Okay, well, what I mean by glazed handrails is we have some handrails that are glass how do you create that. Okay, then in the 17 we will learn how to create landscaping in Revit, how to create your grass lawn, how to add trees, human beings, and the rest of the landscaping elements in Revit. Then in the 18, we learn how to create staircase, how to model staircase. Okay. Then in the 19, we learn how to create our fence railing. If you have a fence, sometimes you have railing on top, how do you create that? Then in the 20, we learn how to create our wall groove in Revit. Wall groove are very good design element, so we use Revit to create grooves that makes our building look aesthetic. Then in the 21, we learn how to split face and paint to create different colors in the same wall. Okay, then in the 22, we learn how to create our site plan in Revit. Then in the 23, we learn how to place trees, human beings, and cars in Revit. Then in the 24, we learn how to create heap roof in Revit. In the 25, we learn how to create doors and windows schedule. Okay, this is we are getting into working drawing now. Then in the 26, you will learn how to install and use V-Ray for Revit. We are getting to a more advanced way of using Revit now. And in the 27, you will learn how to create an L-shaped staircase in Revit. In the 28, you learn how to render using only Revit. Revit can produce rendering, but the rendering produced by Revit is not as quality as that of V-Ray and Lumion, but it's somewhere to start with. So that is what we'll be dealing with in day 28. Then in day 29, we'll learn how to create swimming pool in Revit, how to model swimming pool in Revit. Then in day 30, we learn how to render with V-Ray for Revit, part 1. Okay, we learn how to render with V-Ray for Revit, part 1. In day 31, we learn how to create Dutch gable in Revit. And in day 32, we learn how to create corner window family in Revit. And in day 33, we learn how to create and use void sweep in Revit. These are very, very important. And we get to page 3. In page 3, the first video you see there is day 34, how to create and use room for presentation in Revit. You know, when you are producing presentation drawing, using room is very, very important. I'll be taking you through how you can use room for an aesthetic presentation. And in this particular one here, we are getting to extras now. That is an additional content. We'll be using how here we'll be learning how to copy Revit Family from Revit to external hard disk or vice versa. We'll learn how you can copy Revit Family from Revit folder into your external hard disk, or you copy from your external hard disk into your Revit folder. This will help you solve the problem of Revit Family not loaded. Okay, then in this particular one, we are going to learn how to dimension an irregular site in Revit. If you are a learner and you don't know how to dimension irregular sites in Revit, you are going to have problem. So we'll be learning how to do that in this particular video. Then In this particular video, we'll learn how to assign doors and window tags. Doors and window tags are very important in doors and window schedule. So this particular video will be dealing with that. And in this particular one, we'll learn how to create a complete section in Revit without the use of AutoCAD. Okay. Then in this particular video, we learned how to convert JPEG image to a plan in Revit. For instance, a client gives you a drawing that is in JPEG, that is an image. How do you convert it to a Revit drawing? So we'll be dealing with that in this particular video, and how to model rough and hilly terrain in Revit. In this particular video, we dealt with how you can model hills and rough terrain. This is going to make your drawing look realistic, because when everything is flat in nature, your terrain is not always flat. So we are going to produce that realistic view whereby you have some areas that is rough, you have some area that is hilly in nature. We'll be learning how to model that in this particular video. In this video, you will learn how to use annotate elements in Revit. Then there's another video here that shows you how to model complex Revit doors. How to model complex Revit door family. Then you also learn how to place a drawing on title block, getting your drawing ready to be printed. And you are going to learn how to convert drawing to PDF in this particular video. Then there's another video here. You will learn how to import drawing from AutoCAD to Revit. And you also learn how to resolve error. Sometimes Revit develops some slight errors that can keep you on the same spot if you don't know how to go around it. And one of those errors is you see that the project browser is not responding. You want to view your floor plans and continue your drawing, but by the time you click on it, you hear a sound and everything is not just responding, and there is nothing you can do about it. Even if you close the Revit and open it again, the error will still be there until you have to follow the process that I show you in this video before you can resolve it. Okay, and we now get to Revit model practice part 2. In this part, we pick another project where we started modeling from scratch, and the first video you see there is how to create levels and set dimension and walls, and the second video is how to plan the spaces in your building using Revit architecture, and in the 3 you learn how to create window family with antique features. Okay, it's not all the windows that are flat. Some of them will have antique designs. So here we learn how to model antique designs. Then you also learn in the 4 how to place your window on plan in Revit. And you learn in the 5 how to add graphics to your plan in Revit architecture. Here you learn how to work around your text and the colors of your walls, the colors of your dimension. Basically, we deal with colors and text and font. Okay, then in the 6 you learn how to create your first floor plan in Revit, And in day 7, you learn how to model your staircase. This is another staircase. We learn how to model it in Revit architecture. And we move to page 4. In page 4, the first video you see there is day 8. Day 8, you will learn how to create and modify grid lines in Revit. If you are a beginner and you don't know how to work around grid lines, you will have an unprofessional drawings. Okay, and that is what we dealt with in day 8. And in day 9, you will learn how to place your windows on first floor in Revit. In this particular video, you will also learn how to run a long window from ground floor to first floor. In most of the cases, wherever you have staircase, most of the times when you have staircase, you run window from first floor to you run windows from ground floor to first floor. And if you don't know how to go around it, the window will only cut only the wall either on the first floor and not cut through the walls on the ground floor. So in this particular video, we dealt with that, so you wouldn't have that problem again. And in day 10, we learn how to create roof with some part raised. This is very, very important. There are sometimes you have roof and some part of the roof is raised above other parts of the roof, and we deal with that here. And in day 11, we deal with how to create concrete fascia. And in day 12, we dealt with how to separate walls with different colors and materials. For instance, you want to have you want to separate your wall up and down with different materials. You want to separate them with different materials and different colors. We dealt with that in day 12. And in day 13, you will learn how to create glazed handrails and resolve some issues that come with it. You know, if you are a learner, creating a glass handrail can be problematic if you don't know how to go around it. But in this day 13, we resolve all those issues. And in day 14, we learn how to create groove designs on wall in Revit. We have done it in model practice 1, but this is more advanced. And we also have day 15. Here you will learn how to create floor in Revit architecture. Creating floors is good, but if you don't know how to go around it, your floors will be showing on the faces of your wall and it's not going to look professional. So in this particular video, we dealt with that, how to avoid your floors showing on the body of your wall in 3D. In day 16, we learn how to create different designs with extrusion. And in day 17, we learn how to model pavement in Revit. And in day 18, we learn how to create fence columns the fastest way. If you don't know how to create fence columns, you will copy and paste, and that is going to give you error. So here we learn the best way to create columns, and this will give you the fast approach. And in day 19, we learned how to create grass lawn in Revit architecture. And this is not all. We are still adding videos to it. Okay, so if you want to get this course, there will be a link in the description of this video. Simply tap on it and you get more details on how you can get this course, or below this video now you may see a button there. Simply click on it and you read more on how you can get this course. All right, see you in the course area. Bye.